Okay, so let's get into this. We've got a really fascinating source today. It's an excerpt from a script called The Mission Monkeys and the Frozen Jingletown Carol.
Right.
And it's so much more than just a holiday story. I mean, if you're interested in how learning is structured, how you can embed cognitive skills right into a story, this is kind of a
No,
masterclass.
it really is. And the setting itself is, well, it's the whole mechanism for the learning. You dropped into Jingletown, this, magical place where every single message is sung.
Everything is sung.
Everything, communication, greetings, all of it. So language and music are, they're completely tied together from the start.
Which of course means the big problem is also a musical one. The Mission Monkeys, our heroes, Mila, Milo, Mia, and Mick, they show up and the whole village is just frozen solid.
And when he says frozen, he means it. The source says even the snowflakes are stuck in midair.
Such a great visual. And it's all because of this magical carol that's just blaring from a speaker stuck on a loop.
And that's really where our deep dive begins. We're looking at this as a case study in how you can use puzzles and music and language to teach. The whole plot depends on the audience, actually participating.
Yeah, it's not a passive story.
Not at all.
Yeah.
The curse isn't broken with a magic wand. It's broken with communication, with decoding.
And the script makes that so clear right up front. The curse's command is, when this carol plays, the town stands still. To break the freeze, decode it with skill.
There it is. That's the prompt for the whole thing. It tells you right away, your only weapon here is understanding language.
So a high-stakes setup. And to break this freeze, we have the Mission Monkeys.
Right. And the writers were so smart about this. The four characters aren't just heroes. They're basically stand-ins for the different skills you need to solve a problem together.
They really are a whole team, aren't they?
Yeah.
You've got Mila, who is the main decoder. She loves lyrics, structure, all of that.
The analyst.
Yes. Then there's Mia, who's all about listening. She's the auditory specialist, great with harmonies and picking up sound clues.
So those are your two, let's say, productive members. But a team of just decoders would be boring, and it wouldn't really reflect how learning actually works.
Right, you need some chaos.
You need chaos. And that's where the other two come in. They're the comic relief, but they also serve this crucial purpose of showing the wrong way to solve the problem.
And we know exactly who we're talking about. Milo, who is convinced that every carol just needs a kazoo solo.
Which is just pure, delightful distraction.
And then, of course, Mick, who believes with his whole heart that bananas make every single song better.
And Mick is so brilliant from a writing perspective. He is the personification of the wrong answer.
He's the distractor answer, as the source puts it.
Exactly. He sets the rules for the puzzle by constantly being outside of them.
Okay, can we pause on that for a second? Because, you'd think if the whole point is to teach a kid a rule, like rhyming, having a character just constantly yelling banana might actually be counterproductive.
That's a great question, and it really gets to the heart of why this script is so clever. He's what you might call a productive failure.
A productive failure. I like that.
Because he shows everyone what happens when you just throw randomness at a problem instead of rules. When Mick yells banana and, nothing happens, the audience immediately learns, okay, so the answer isn't just a random silly word.
I see. It helps them narrow down the possibilities.
It clarifies the cognitive boundary. By being wrong, he makes the right path clearer.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So the script then just locks the audience in, it breaks the fourth wall and asks, kids, will you help us? The stakes become personal. You have to solve it before the cocoa freezes.
It creates an active learning environment. You're not just a spectator, you're on the team now.
Okay, so let's get to the puzzles. The first layer of this curse, clue 1, it hits right at the foundation of literacy.
The rhyme time puzzle.
Yes, they're testing the most basic phonetic skill right out of the gate.
And that's intentional. You give the audience an immediate win. It builds their confidence that they actually can break this curse.
So the lyric they have to solve is, cold winds blow and snowflakes.
And right on cue.
Mick jumps in.
Banana.
Of course.
It's funny, but it serves that purpose we just talked about. It makes you stop, laugh, but then you have to consciously ignore and think, okay, what word sounds like blow?
And once the audience gets the right answer, which is glow,
Yeah.
the feedback is instant.
Yeah.
And it's very satisfying.
It's tangible, it's physical. The correct answer makes a flurry of sparkles appear and melt the icicles off the gingerbread houses.
So it's not just a ding, you got it right sound.
No, the story shows you that language has physical power in this world. You decode the rhyme correctly, you literally change the environment, you thaw things out. That's powerful feedback.
It really is. So once they've established that and shown that basic skills have this kind of power, they ramp up the difficulty.
They have to. So we move from phonetics to auditory skills.
Right. Clue 2 is the missing sound match. This is about connecting a word in a lyric to an actual sound in the world.
So it's a more advanced skill. It's not just about matching sounds of words. It's about comprehension. It's about what the words mean.
Okay, so the lyric for this one is, "The reindeer tap with joyful feet. They dance to a rhythm that sounds like a plu."
So Mila, the lyric expert, she knows the word has to be about rhythm, but it's Mia, the sound expert, who gives you the options.
And she plays two sounds.
Yeah.
A drum beat and a really loud sneeze.
Another fantastic distractor. The sneeze is a sound, sure, but it has nothing to do with rhythm or joyful feet.
You have to filter out that irrelevant noise.
Right. And the correct answer is, of course, beat. But what's really interesting here is the outcome. You mentioned it would scale up.
It does, big time. If the rhyme just melted some icicles, solving this puzzle causes the snow statues to crack back to life and start dancing again.
So you're going from a simple thought to full-on restoration of movement. And that's the narrative's way of saying, great job, you've leveled up. You didn't just find a word. You understood the context. You understood the meaning behind the sound.
Okay, so we've covered sound matching and listening comprehension. Now we get to the final boss of the puzzles, clue 3.
This is the most complex one.
It is. It's all about sentence structure, syntax, the fix the mixed up line puzzle.
It's moving from just recognizing words to understanding how they have to fit together to make sense. This is, it's pure cognitive reorganization.
And the scrambled line they get is, it's a total mess. The source quotes it as, "Sleigh ride through stars the wee night."
Yeah, that's just a jumble. It doesn't follow any rules of English, so it forces you to actively rearrange it in your head.
You have to find the subject, the verb.
All of it. And Mila points out that it's all scrambled, which kicks off the teamwork. But here's the part in the source that I found really fascinating.
About the audience's answer.
Yes, their first attempt is really close, they guess. "We ride through the stars tonight."
Which shows pretty good instinct, right? They got the subject and verb in the right place.
Exactly. But that last part, "the stars the night," it's clunky. It doesn't quite work.
And that's where Mila comes in to make that final, tiny correction.
And that tiny correction is the whole point of the lesson. The final correct line is, "We ride through the stars in the night."
Ah, so the audience missed the preposition, the word in.
They missed in. And this is brilliant because it teaches that sentence structure isn't just about the big, important words. It's about the tiny little words, the prepositions, the articles that glue everything together and create real meaning.
Because "we ride through the stars the night" is confusing. But "in the night" clarifies when the action is happening.
It defines the relationship between the action and the time. That is a huge cognitive leap. And that's why it's the final clue. It demands that level of precision.
And the result is the biggest one yet. A huge swoosh. The final verse just corrects itself, and the entire village unfreezes completely.
The system is restored.
And we get this great payoff scene. The music is flowing. Everyone, elves, animals, even the cocoa fountains are all dancing and laughing.
It shows that when you restore order to language, you restore joy and order to the whole community.
I love the line from the mayor. He doesn't just say, "Wow, you're so smart." He says, "You didn't just crack a code, you brought joy back to the melody."
Exactly. It directly connects literacy skills to emotional well-being. The joy is the reward for the successful decoding.
So if we step back, the core lessons are just so clear. First, words and music can bring joy, or they can create total confusion, all depending on their structure.
And second, that you really have to listen closely to solve tricky problems.
And third, the power of teamwork. Even when, one of your teammates is only thinking about bananas.
The messy collaboration still gets you there.
It does. And they even give a little nod to that at the end. When everything back to normal, Make is just twirling around singing, "Yeah, banana bells, banana bells."
And Mila just jokes, "Let's freeze him for 5 minutes."
It's a great little button on the story.
So if we connect all this back to the bigger picture, what you're seeing is how a story can make these internal thought processes, external and functional. Literacy isn't some boring academic subject here.
No, it's a superpower.
It's the active tool you need to decode your world, and in this case, bring joy and order back to it, whether it's a mixed-up sentence or a magically frozen town.
Absolutely. So we've seen how this story teaches rhyming, listening, and even complex sentence structure.
Yeah.
Through these really fun, clue-based puzzles. It's just a beautifully designed system.
It really is.
But I think The most interesting thing to take away from this is the role of make-it, the role of failure.
A productive failure.
Yes, this whole structure shows that the wrong answer, the silly guess, is often a crucial catalyst. It's the thing that helps everyone else figure out what the right rules of the game actually are.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you think, how often in real life, when we're stuck on something, is it the most ridiculous out there suggestion that actually helps us see the correct path forward? Something for you to mull over.